Όταν έστειλα φέτος το γράμμα μου στον Άγιο Βασίλη, δεν περίμενα ποτέ να λάβω απάντηση. Συνήθως έρχεται μόνο του το δώρο. Φέτος, αντί για υλικό δώρο, η αλήθεια είναι ότι ζήτησα από τον χοντρούλη Άγιο αν μπορεί να καθίσει μαζί μου για ένα ποτήρι γάλα και λίγες ερωτήσεις. Φανταστείτε την έκπληξή μου όταν όχι μόνο μου απάντησε, αλλά μου απάντησε και θετικά. Και τώρα τον έχω εδώ δίπλα μου για να πούμε 2-3 πράγματα. Και επειδή μου είχε πει από προηγουμένως ότι ήθελε η φωνή του να ακουστεί όσο πιο μακριά γίνεται, σε όσα περισσότερα αυτιά γίνεται, αυτή την συνέντευξη θα την κάνουμε σε πολλές και διαφορετικές γλώσσες. Αρχή θα κάνουμε με τα αγγλικά, με τα οποία αισθάνομαι ότι είναι και λίγο πιο άνετα ο Άγιος μας. Welcome to Cyprus, Santa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for answering my letter. I never, ever expected that in a million years.
It's my pleasure.
When you first offered presents, did you ever imagine that it would evolve to all this?
When I first started this, there were less people in the entire world than there are children in Europe right now. So, no, I didn't expect it to get this big. I didn't know that it was going to become so popular. But I think it's important. And as it has grown, I have gotten more and more helpers to go through things with me.
How big of a responsibility is to hold so many children's wishes upon you?
It's a very big responsibility. And I don't want anybody to be disappointed. But you can't have everything. So you have to choose what it is that fits each child the best. And that makes it a little bit more complicated, but it makes it better for them on Christmas morning, instead of just getting anything.
Do you ever get tired?
Oh, everybody gets tired, but I can't think of anything I would rather do.
Est-ce que vous avez jamais compté combien de cadeaux vous avez donné?
Pouvez-vous calculer l'amour ou la dévotion?
Bon, ça c'est un non. C'est incontable. How do you manage such a busy schedule? You said you had a lot of help and a lot of helpers and more helpers through the years. So could you please describe a typical December day for you?
I usually get up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I go down and go out to where the reindeer are, and I check to make sure that they're okay, and I check on the repairs for the sleigh, because each year it gets older, like me. So we make sure that the sleigh is in good condition. I make sure the reindeer are all healthy and well fed. I go from there to the factory. We work in 3 shifts, 24 hours, and the elves on the night shift are just finishing up. I go and I check and make sure that there's no complications in the system. Make sure that everybody has what they need in order to get it done. I finish there about 7:30, and I go have breakfast with my beautiful wife. And we talk a little bit. About 9 o'clock, I go to the sorting house where all the letters are, and I look through the letters that come in for that day. About 11:30, I go to the logistics. Not everything does well that far north. The puppies, the kittens, the horses, they don't like this type of weather. So we have one man who grows dogs and cats here in Cyprus for us, and I contact with them and make sure that everything is okay. He has what he needs. We raise horses in Spain. We have fish farms in Indonesia and different places, supply depots for things that are more suited for the animals and for the different things that we build. When that's finished, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I go and have lunch with my wife. She tells me everything that's gone right and everything that's gone wrong that morning, and we try to figure it out. From there, I go back to the factory for the second shift, check on them. About 4 o'clock, I go back to the sorting house to look through the letters that have come in since that morning. 8 o'clock, we go and we start. I check with the logistics people again. They tell me who is going to be working the air traffic controllers on the Christmas Eve and how many flights are estimated to be in the air that night, and all of these sorts of things, so that we can sort of plan our route around the people trying to get where they want to be. That goes until 10:30, 11. I go back to the factory again to check the last crew of elves that get off at 11. And I usually get back to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I get about 2 hours sleep each night during December.
Enough?
It has to be. It's what I have.
Και πώς περνάτε τις πιο δύσκολες μέρες, τη μέρα πριν τα Χριστούγεννα και φαντάζομαι τη μέρα μετά τα Χριστούγεννα?
Η μέρα πριν είναι όλα άχος να γεννώει. Όλα όπως να πρέπει. Η μέρα μετά κοιμάμαι. Δεν αργουνάκι.
Και τι κάνετε όταν δεν είναι Δεκέμβρης και όταν δεν είναι το high season για τον Άγιο Βασίλη?
Δεν έχω off season. Από το μετά μία εβδομάδα φτάνουμε το παιχνίδια, το toys, το δώρα για το Χριστούγεννα μετά.
Do you actually go through all the letters, through the letterboxes, emails, video calls, everything?
Everything comes to the sorting house just outside the factory. And every day for about 6 to 8 hours a day, I'm in there reading and checking letters and emails and faxes and snail mail and et cetera, et cetera. Everything is taken care of and everything is processed.
Tell me about the naughty list. Is it longer than the nice list?
I get the names for the naughty and the nice list from the conscience of the parents of the children. I look at the parents and how the children treat the parents. And if the parents are satisfied with how the child behaves, they're on the nice list. If the parent is frustrated or unhappy,
and rightfully so, because sometimes parents ask too much of children, especially nowadays. So it goes both ways.
There's a balancing act. So watch the child, I watch the parent, and I weigh the pros and the cons. And I make sure that they're on the list that they're supposed to be on.
And what happens to the people on the naughty list? I know they don't get coal anymore.
No, but they're not so happy on Christmas. They get the things, but somehow it's not quite as shiny as what they wanted. Somehow it's not quite as all-encompassing as it is on those times that they're the way they're supposed to be. Batteries not included type of thing. And you give them strange battery sizes so that they can't ever find them.
You're so famous and so loved in so many different countries. Everyone wants you in their homes and everyone wants what you're bringing. Have you ever thought of running for office in a country maybe?
I think I have enough work with my job without trying to take someone else's.
No politics for Santa. And what is the most typical question you get asked? I mean, apart from presents, do you ever get asked, why do you always wear red? Why do you always wear the same clothes? Why don't you try different things in your life?
If you come to my home and you look in my closet, you'll see about 50 or 60 suits exactly like this one. But when you work in snow that is 2 meters deep, it's important for people to be able to find you if you fall down or you get lost. Sometimes children ask me, sometimes the very inventive ones, want to know for next Christmas what we're going to come out with that's new. So they'll send me a letter. What are you planning for next Christmas?
So you get letters even off season?
Certainly off season. And it is, some of the questions are obviously from small children. Some are from adults saying, how did you get into my house this year?
And what types of presents do you usually get asked for?
Most of the time it is toys, cars, dolls, these sorts of things. But every once in a while, I will get asked, somebody's mother or father is sick, and they want me to do something for them. Or the country they live in is at war, and they want me to do something for them. And these are the ones that break my heart.
I can see. I mean, I know you're Santa, but there's only so much you can do Do people realize that there's limits to what you can do?
When I get letters that there's nothing I can do for, I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of crying. I do a lot of supplication to God. And I ask Him to take this burden from their heart as well as from mine. Because there's not much I can do for them.
Apart from giving presents, have you ever received a present? I mean, asking God for a difficult wish to be granted, would that be an ideal present for you?
That would be wonderful for me, and occasionally it works. But again, you can't have everything all the time.
Have you ever gotten a present?
Certainly. I have had, one of my favorite presents is thank you letters. The children get what they wanted for Christmas, they write me a thank you note, and they give it to their parents.
And do the adults send you thank you presents? Because you said adults ask for presents as well.
Adults tend to try to explain things away. That's not really from Santa. Somebody knew what I wanted. That's not from Santa.
Et vous, comme enfant, vous demandez quoi?
Les romans sont plus gentils.
C'était lourd comme expérience, les romans.
It was very hard on the Christians. It was very hard on everybody at that time. Even I was imprisoned by the Romans.
And what do you remember from that time? Do you remember
Being
anything?
let go. I remember God saying, enough. Enough.
You always keep the good memories.
It's the only ones worth keeping.
Tell me about infidels. I mean, in modern times.
God made everybody, and God loves everybody. And He tells us that He doesn't want anybody to be lost. If God is willing to forgive and love, who am I to do anything different? My job is to show some of the gifts that God gives to everybody on the earth. It rains for everybody, the sun shines for everybody, there's seasons for everybody. These are gifts from God.
And what about those who don't really believe in Santa?
It's okay. Doesn't mean I don't believe in them.
Do you ever wish for them to believe back in you?
As long as they're happy and healthy, I'm satisfied.
Helpers
I do.
all around the globe. Do you choose them? Do they go through some sort of interview? And do they really pass on children's wishes?
They do. Most of my helpers are parents. They remember how it was when they were little. And when I look at them as they grow, I can see their hearts. And I put just a little suggestion in their head. And the next Christmas they start looking around and say, I could be Santa. Just a little suggestion. If it takes, they're the kind of helper I need.
And what about Santa doubles? I mean, Santas that we get to see in parties and in small Christmas markets. Do you handpick them?
Sort of. I watch the children as they grow. And if their heart is growing the way that would be beneficial for a Santa, sometimes when they dream at night, I put a small idea in their head. Maybe I could be a Santa Claus. And if that idea grows, and if the next Christmas they start looking for costumes, they have accepted that, and I begin to use them as my assistants.
So we should trust them with our wishes.
Sure. Everybody's wishes and everybody's letter get to me.
Is going to houses harder now that chimneys have demised?
I enter places more through willing hearts than I do through specific portals. If a child is looking for me, I find a way to get in. If a parent is looking for me, I find a way to get in.
So if a person, no matter the age, the sex, the race, the beliefs.
Where they live, it doesn't matter. If they're looking for me to come, I will find a way to get there.
Θα σας ρωτήσω και κάτι πιο κουτσομπολίστικο, αν θέλετε τώρα. Ο Ρούντολφ πραγματικά έχει κόκκινη μύτη?
Ναι. Από το κρύο το γίνεται που κόκκινο. Όλα εκεί το κόκκινο. Ο Dancer, ο Prancer, η Vixen, όλα. Αλλά Rudolph είναι πουφ. Είναι αυτή.
Λάμπει πολύ.
Ναι. Μπροστά, Rudolph.
Γι' αυτό τον έχετε μπροστά για να οδηγάει. Άρα αλήθεια είναι αυτό. Και επειδή σας βλέπω, παρόλο που τώρα δεν έχουμε το γάλα μας εδώ πάνω στο τραπέζι, το ξέρω ότι σας αρέσει και το γάλα και τα μπισκότα. Ποιος είναι ο αγαπημένος σας τύπος μπισκότου?
Αυτά με το σοκολάτα.
Α, με τη σοκολάτα σας αρέσουν, για να ξέρουμε τι να αφήσουμε να σας ευχαριστήσουμε.
Αν έχει σοκολάτα, είμαι καλά.
Βέβαια, τα πολλά μπισκότα σημαίνουν και πολύ βάρος. Έχετε ποτέ σκεφτεί να χάσετε λίγο βάρος για να μπορείτε να κινήσετε ίσως λίγο πιο εύκολα? Δεν θέλω να σας προσβάλλω,
Όχι, δεν μπορώ. Μου αρέσουν τα μπισκότο και τα γλυκά πάρα πολύ. Δεν μπορώ.
Και επίσης είναι τόσο κρύο εκεί που είστε που χρειάζεται λίγο βάρος για να κρατήσετε ζεστός.
Τη γυναίκα μου είναι το αστυνομία για
για το
βέλη μου.
βάρος.
Ναι.
What's the best and what's the worst thing about being Santa?
The best thing is, on Christmas morning, I hear presents being unwrapped all over the world, and I hear small children laughing and yelling and screaming, happy, because they got what they wanted. The worst thing, obviously, is the hours. 2 hours a night sleep from the middle of October until the end of December makes for some very long months. But on Christmas morning, when I hear that, it makes everything worth it.
You know, in Cyprus, some people get their presents from Santa Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, and some others get them New Year's Eve, New Year's morning.
And Russia gets them sometimes as well. When you expect me to come, that's how I find you. You want me to come, I find a way to get there. When you expect me to come, that's when I get there.
Thank you so very much for this interview and these few questions that you've answered for me.
It was my pleasure.
It was an honor for me. Thank you for granting me my present so early. An interview with Santa is something that I've dreamt for forever. And hopefully this won't count as my actual present and I'll find something under my tree as well.
No. This is something that is important to you, but it is public. On Christmas Day, you get what's for you, not for everybody.
I'll be waiting. Is there something you would like to say as we end this to the children and adults, to everyone watching us right now?
As long as you look for me, as long as you believe, I will come. And I will do my best to do the things that you need me to do and to get where we need to be. Thank you very much for your belief. Καλά Χριστούγεννα και χρόνια πολλά. Καλές γιορτές.